Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to totally radically reframe our relationship with something we all interact with every single day. I mean, we're talking about literally pieces of cotton and digital ones and zeros, right? Yet we rarely understand it on a fundamental level. We're talking about money. We'll be drawing on the brilliant insights from Rob Moore's comprehensive summary to completely deconstruct how we think about wealth. And look, this isn't just about piling up cash. It's about shifting your entire paradigm. Okay, let's dive into this. What truly separates the wealthy from the rest of us? Is it just dumb luck, a massive inheritance, maybe a totally different biological makeup? Well, when you really strip it down, the difference lies deeply in how they perceive and interact with currency. You know, most of us carry around all this emotional predisposition and societal baggage about wealth, but the affluent, they've fundamentally cracked the code on what money actually is and exactly how it functions. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the true nature of money, move into the power of leverage and diversifying your income, take a close look at the traits of the affluent, and finally wrap up with creating a lasting legacy. So, part one, the true nature of money. It's time to move past all that emotional baggage. You know, society loves to tell us that money is the root of all evil, or on the flip side, that it's the magical solution to every single human problem. But in reality, as Rob Moore points out, money is just a balancing agent. It's completely devoid of its own moral compass. Think of it as a highly efficient, totally neutral force that simply amplifies who you already are. If you're a generous person, money allows you to be an amazing philanthropist. If you're kind of a jerk, well, it just makes you a much bigger jerk with a really nice car. It reflects your personal values and habits, and honestly, understanding this neutrality is the absolute first vital step to taking control of your financial destiny, completely free from guilt or fear. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that money actually needs two critical things to survive. It's almost like a living biological organism. First up, it absolutely requires trust. We all have to believe in its value as a medium of exchange and a store of value. Without that collective trust, currency is literally just paper or digital ones and zeros, totally worthless. Second, it requires movement. Money has to circulate through transactions. Without economic activity and constant circulation, money just loses its utility, and the whole economy stagnates. So, to build wealth, you've got to keep your resources active and constantly moving. Moving right along to section 2, the power of leverage. This is all about multiplying your outcomes. Here's a hard truth. You cannot get wealthy simply by trading your hours for dollars. It just doesn't work. You have to employ leverage. Think about how banks operate, right? They use depositor funds to issue loans. They basically pool resources to massively enhance their economic prospects. For us, the formula breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, pooling your resources. Second, applying consistent, deliberate effort. And third, utilizing immense patience. Because building wealth, it's rarely some overnight phenomenon. It is a gradual, steady process. By taking small, deliberate, and consistent actions that compound over time, you build an absolutely unstoppable momentum that yields massive results down the road. You know, whenever people hear the word leverage, they almost always just think about borrowing cash. But true wealth builders leverage way more than just debt. They leverage time by maximizing their efficiency. They leverage assets like property or intellectual rights. They build incredibly efficient systems that operate completely independent of their direct involvement. They leverage people through smart collaboration. And, maybe most importantly, they leverage ideas by generating totally unique solutions to massive societal needs. Optimizing the management of all these resources, and not just your money, is what actually transforms the wealth formula into true lasting prosperity. That brings us to section 3, diversifying your income, how we protect and build our assets. Relying on a single salary is honestly incredibly fragile. You are entirely exposed to unforeseeable market fluctuations or sudden changes in your professional trajectory. The affluent protect themselves by splitting their income streams, and this brilliantly illustrates that concept, aiming for a balanced split. Think along the lines of a third in passive investments, a third in business earnings, and a third in salaries. This variety acts like a powerful shield against economic difficulty. It ensures that if one stream suddenly dries up, the others just keep right on flowing. Employing these intelligent financial strategies does something genuinely amazing. It completely shifts your status. You move from merely covering costs and managing debt to actually accumulating real financial prosperity. When you make strategic commitments in things like equities, bonds, property, or even valuable collectibles and intellectual property rights, you are essentially setting up autonomous revenue channels. You are literally buying your own freedom.
This is the bridge between merely surviving in the economy and achieving ultimate financial independence.
All right, Section 4, Traits of the Affluent. We're looking at practicality over prejudice.
If you think about the average emotional reaction to money, getting weighed down by societal expectations or viewing wealth with deep suspicion, it's super common. But then look at the mindset of the genuinely affluent. They have a completely practical, utility-driven understanding of money. To them, money is just a tool, plain and simple. It facilitates service. It represents worth. They totally reject those societal prejudices and see their wealth not as some greedy pursuit, but as a direct representation of their ability to create real value for other people.
So what do they actually do on a day-to-day basis? Well, first, they conquer those emotional prejudices we just talked about. They genuinely see themselves as serving a massive, broad audience, mainly because they know that money is designed to resolve significant problems. Take someone like Sam Walton, for example. He perfectly merged his personal passion with his professional life, and by doing so, he created Walmart, a business that has profoundly impacted global employment. The wealthy also view material wealth as a concrete, tangible manifestation of their dreams and ambitions. And above all else, they are incredibly skillful at managing and distributing their resources into high-yield endeavors.
Finally, we arrive at Section 5, Creating a Lasting Legacy. This is the true mission of wealth.
Financial success and personal satisfaction are definitely not at odds with one another. Actually, they are totally complementary. Striving for wealth isn't an inherently selfish act. So the crucial point is, when your pursuit of prosperity is driven by a goal that serves the greater good, it fosters your own personal aspirations while simultaneously enhancing the collective well-being of society. Philanthropy and personal affluence are deeply, inextricably interconnected. They really go hand in hand.
To anchor this abstract idea in reality, just look at how some of the world's most successful individuals actually deploy their wealth. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, they don't just sit on their billions, they actively use them to tackle immense societal issues like worldwide health and access to quality education. Richard Branson has pioneered models of capitalism that incorporate deep social awareness to foster worldwide healing. And you've got Azim Premji and Mark Zuckerberg committing vast portions of their fortunes to educational endeavors and public welfare projects. For these individuals, engaging in charitable acts isn't just a PR stunt, it's a fundamental practice that allows them to live out their core values. Let's move to and see how this builds to a definitive conclusion on what prosperity really means. Amassing a fortune? Well, that's really only one half of the equation. Achieving lasting, meaningful wealth requires harmonizing your core personal values with the actual needs of society. It means discovering your unique skills, cultivating them, and aligning that distinctive vision with the welfare of humanity. It's really about building a tapestry of wealth that not only elevates your own life, but creates a profound, positive ripple effect across the entire broader community. I want to leave you all with a final, provocative thought. You now know that money is simply a neutral tool just waiting to be leveraged and diversified to create immense value. The mechanics are clear, but the ultimate mission, that is entirely up to you. As you go forward to build your own wealth, how will you align your unique skills with the welfare of humanity? What lasting legacy will you choose to build? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this completely reframes your journey to mastering money.